Good evening. This, the 110th meeting of the 71st term of the Baltimore City Council, is now called to order. Please turn off all cell phones or put them on vibrate. Tonight's invocation will be led by Rabbi Lisbon of Shabbat of Park Heights. After the invocation, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here today and share a couple of thoughts to our council person, Ricky Spector, and all of you. Thoughts that come from the heart. I penned a very quick and small letter to our Father in heaven, and I'd like to read my thoughts with you. Dear, great, and loving Father in heaven, first, let me say thank you on behalf of all who are assembled here today. Thank you for your abundant blessings of life, of health, and for our freedom. Thank you for the ability and privilege to be in your service and in the service of our constituents as duly elected officials of our great city of Baltimore. We ask you for continued guidance and wisdom. I would like to share a brief, beautiful quote from our Mishnah, Book of Laws, written painstakingly over 5 generations, from 30 before the Common Era until the year 350 of the Common Era, by great rabbinical sages. Rabbi Hanina used to say, anyone with whom his fellow men are pleased, God is pleased with him. But anyone with whom his fellow men are not pleased, God is not pleased with him either. Dear Father in heaven, please give us the wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times, so that all our citizens can live in peace and prosperity. Please give us the courage to sustain the universal Noahide laws of civil responsibility, civil respect, and morality. Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the Lubavitch Rebbe of blessed memory, would often tell this story of an aged Hasidic master who would easily climb the icy and wintry steep hills of his community without ever slipping or falling. He explained, when one is humbly connected and joined to the one above, he or she will not fall or falter down here. Please grant us strong connections to the one above so that we can successfully do your work here down on earth. And to this we all say, amen.
Amen. Rabbi, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Rabbi? The clerk will call the rolls of the members.
President Young, Kraft, Scott, Curran, Henry, Middleton, Holton, Welsh, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes, Branch, Clark. Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Today's Showcase Baltimore presentation is by the winners of the Southeastern School Recycling Contest. Let's welcome them.
Good evening, everyone. As you may remember, Councilman Kraft's office holds an annual recycling contest for the Southeast schools. Last year, we realized that fortunately, most of our schools already routinely recycle. So this year, we decided to do something different and partner with a company called TerraCycle, which recycles traditionally non-recyclable products. Our 2 winning schools this year were John Rura. They collected 3,925 items. And also the New Century School. They collected 1,606 items, and they were our per capita winner with just over 9 items collected per student. This evening we have a presentation from a group of students from the New Century School, and they're going to explain how they participated in the TerraCycle contest, and they're also going to explain the importance of recycling in Baltimore City in 3 languages, I believe. Can you say your name first?
My name is Asher Matai. We are from Baltimore, Fellows Point. We're from the New Century School, and we learn 3 languages: Spanish, Chinese, and English. And our main teachers are Mr. Dan McGonigal and Mrs. Kylie Stash.
So now I will tell you my name. Wait, let me start again. My name is Life Jasani Eisenart. The New Century School tied with another school on first for the TerraCycling contest, which we got to go to the aquarium and then get to go to the top of the World Trade Center. And on level 20, and there was only one level from the top.
Okay, who's next?
Walk down the steps.
My name is Pia Hazlett, and I'm going to talk about, Asher took what I was going to say, so, most of it. We learned, I'm just going to say it again. So we learned 3 languages, Spanish, Chinese, and English, and we're going to say something in these 3 languages.
Let's start with English.
Okay, we're doing it in order.
Okay. Okay.
Watch yourself over there, okay?
So, ready?
1, 2, 3. We recycle to help keep our city clean. Less trash in Baltimore is better for everyone. Reciclemos para mantener nuestra ciudad limpia. Menos basura en Baltimore es mejor para todos. 我们用会手来帮助保持我们城市的清洁，再把二地毛来之越少，对每个人越好。
Thank you.
My name is Danny Launer, and we won a contest. We went to the top of the World Trade Center. Our teacher's name is Dan McGonigal.
The steps. Okay. Councilman Kraft is moving for suspension of the rules so he can have floor privileges for his guests. Second by Councilman Scott. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. His guests may take the floor. They're already on the floor. Oh, Councilwoman Spector, you want to say something before? You'll wait till after? Okay.
So, Mr. President, we have everybody here from the New Century School, and once again, I think you all had the children, all the children in New Century School, this is a Montessori school in Fells Point, they all take a language from the time they start school, and they take either Spanish or Chinese. Take both? I thought you take both. Oh, you take both. They all take.
We all take Spanish and...
There you go. I'm being told, okay? They all take both. So when we heard them then, we just heard them in English, in Spanish, and Chinese, which they take from the time they start the school. So pretty talented kids, huh? That's it. So this resolution says the City Council of Baltimore resolution, be it hereby known to all that the City Council of Baltimore offers its sincerest congratulations to the New Century School in recognition of winning the Southeast Schools TerraCycle contest. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on this 22nd day of February 2016, and it's signed by the President, Bernard Jack Young, and by all the council members here at the City Council. So congratulations, okay? And if we hold this up, you want to hold this? And they will take a picture for us.
Thank you, and congratulations again. It is the council custom to journalize the invocation. Ask for a motion to journalize the prayer. Motion by Councilman Kern, second by Councilwoman Holton. All those in favor of journalize the prayer say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We'll now proceed with the adoption of the journal.
Mr. President, the journal of the proceedings from the February 8th City Council meetings are on the council members' desks.
Is there a motion to approve the journal? Motion by Councilman Kraft, second by Councilwoman Spector. All those in favor of adopting the journal say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion carries and the journal is adopted. Councilwoman Spector, did you have something to say first? I do apologize. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Spector.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to journalize Rabbi Lisbon's.
We did that. Okay. Bill signed by the mayor can be found on page 2 of the agenda. Bills vetoed by the mayor can be found on page 3 of the agenda.
Mayor and City Council Resolution 15-0567, Charter Amendment, Children and Youth Fund. Mayor and City Council Resolution for the purpose of establishing and continuing non-lapsing Children and Youth Fund to be used exclusively to supplement services provided to children and youth, requiring a minimum annual appropriation to this fund, authorizing the mayor and city council by ordinance to provide for the oversight, governance, and administration of this fund, and submitting this amendment to the qualified voters of the city for adoption or rejection. President Young?
Yes.
President Young votes yes. Councilman Kraft?
Yes.
Councilman Kraft votes yes. Councilman Scott? Councilman Scott votes yes. Councilman Curran? Councilman Curran votes yes. Councilman Henry? Councilman Henry votes yes. Councilwoman Spector? Councilwoman Spector votes yes. Councilwoman Middleton? Councilwoman Middleton votes yes. Councilman Mosby? Councilman Mosby votes yes. Councilwoman Holton? Councilwoman Holton votes yes. Councilman Welsh? Councilman Welch votes yes. Councilman Reisinger? Councilman Reisinger votes yes. Councilman Costello? Councilman Costello votes yes. Councilman Stokes? Councilman Stokes votes yes. Councilman Branch? Councilman Branch votes yes. Councilwoman Clark? Councilwoman Clark votes yes.
This bill is approved. Bills to be introduced.
City Council Bill 16-0625, Zoning Conditional Use, amending Ordinance 14-0206, ordinance for the purpose of amending Ordinance 14-0206 to reauthorize and continue the permission for the establishment, maintenance, and operation of a parking open off-street area for the parking lot of 4 or more automobiles on the property known is 4001 Roland Avenue, providing for the automatic termination of this ordinance and providing for a special effective date. Sponsor Clark.
Councilwoman Clark.
This is a 2-year extension for a temporary parking lot for Roland Park Place around the church building that they own, while the construction nearby of parking facilities wraps up and they can move back to where they want to be with their vehicles. 2 years. Thanks.
Thank you. This has been signed to the Land Use and Transportation Committee.
City Council Bill 16-0626, City Contractors, Worksite Posting and Reporting Requirements. Ordinance for the purpose of requiring city contractors subject to the prevailing wage law to post certain employee and subcontractor information at work sites, reducing the time available for city contractors subject to the prevailing wage and living wage laws to make certain required reports, setting and increasing certain penalties, clarifying and conforming related provisions, and generally relating to the conduct of city contractors. Sponsor Welsh, Henry, Stokes, Clark.
Please note Councilman Mosby is co-sponsor, Councilwoman Middleton, Councilman Scott, Councilman Kern, Councilman Kraft, Council Vice President Reisinger, Councilwoman Holton, Councilman Branch, Councilman Costello, and Council President Young as co-sponsors. Chair, Councilwoman Spector. Chair recognizes Councilman Welch.
Thank you, Mr. President. What this bill does, it strengthens wage theft laws in Baltimore City by requiring that names and positions and wages be posted daily on job sites. What occurs is we might see an office building go up that's costing $200 million, and when we look at the employees on the project, we might see one carpenter and 50 laborers. Well, those 50 laborers are actually carpenters that are not union carpenters that should be on the job working out of title. And what this does, it makes the posting available for inspection every day, and there are penalties for those individuals who are working out of title, and allows us to revise and stop payment with other penalties in place to make sure that our union workers aren't slighted and we have the correct workers working on a job in our projects in Baltimore City.
Thank you. This has been assigned to the Taxation, Finance, and Economic Development Committee.
City Council Bill 16-0627, Property Tax Credits, City Supplement to Homeowners Tax Credit Program. Ordinance for the purpose of establishing a city supplement to the state homeowners property tax credit program, defining certain terms, imposing certain limitations, conditions, and qualifications for credit eligibility, and providing for the amount and administration of the credit. Sponsor President Young, Henry, Scott, Costello, Stokes, Branch, Clark, Welsh, Reisinger.
Please note Councilman Kraft, Councilman Kern, Councilman Mosby, Councilwoman Middleton, Councilwoman Holton as co-sponsors. Thank you. Today I'm introducing a local supplement to the state's homeowners property tax credit. This local tax credit will be available to seniors who receive the state's homeowners property tax credit and are over the age of 62, have owned their home for 10 years or more, and have an income of less than $40,000. This tax credit will use a formula based on the home's value, homeowner's income, and other tax credits received to calculate the local supplement. A senior with an annual income of $25,000 who pays $1,770 a year in property taxes, after the state credit is factored in, will save an additional $380 under this proposal. Baltimore City will be the 14th county in Maryland to offer a local supplement to the homeowners tax credit. We are joining our neighbors in Baltimore, Anne Arundel, Howard, and Prince George counties in offering a local supplemental tax credit. Our seniors are facing many challenges and often live on limited fixed incomes. This tax credit can help homeowners stay in their home and out of poverty. And I want to thank my colleagues for co-sponsoring this bill. And Councilwoman Spector is a co-sponsor? Okay, Councilwoman Spector. This has been assigned to the Taxation, Finance, and Economic Development Committee. Resolutions, there are no resolutions to be introduced. You can find the consent calendar in Section A at the back of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? Motion by Councilwoman Holton, second by Councilman Costello. All those in favor of approving the consent calendar say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion carried. This calendar is approved. We'll now move the bills on second reader. Budget and Appropriation Committee.
16-0623, Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation, Mayor's Office of Human Services, $1,652,000 for the purpose of providing a Supplementary General Fund Operating Appropriation and the amount of $1,652,000 to the Mayor's Office of Human Services, Service 895, to provide funding for the following: Men's Overflow Shelter, Low Barrier Shelter, Code Blue Shelter, vouchers, and providing for a special effective date.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Holton. You hear me?
Thank you, Mr. President. The hearing was more technical than anything than in nature, but I'm glad that it is moving forward, particularly given the winter we have had thus far. Clearly, it is indicative of a need for us to do more, and I'm glad that the administration saw fit to move resources there. It was a good hearing, and at this point, we recommend a favorable approval of the bill.
Second by Councilman Mosby. All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
Ordinance 16-0624, supplementing general fund operating appropriation, Mayor's Office of Human Services, $213,000 for the purpose of providing a supplementary general fund operating appropriation in the amount of $213,000 to the Mayor's Office of Human Services, Service 894, to provide funding to create 3 4-person teams for assertive outreach to individuals who are experiencing homelessness with co-occurring illnesses such as mental health or substance abuse issues, and providing for a special effective date.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Holton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a very important measure being taken because oftentimes there are people who are chronically homeless. And having teams go out and really do the due diligence to assess that is the first step in the process of us reducing homelessness in Baltimore City. So, Mr. President, I recommend a favorable vote on this bill.
Second by Councilman Stokes. All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion to approve this bill moves to third reader. Land Use and Transportation Committee.
City Council Bill 15-0600, Plant Unit Development, Amendment 2, Greektown Redevelopment, for the purpose of approving certain amendments to the development plan of the Greektown Redevelopment Plant Unit Development.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the finding of facts.
Second by Councilman Kraft. All those in favor of approving the finding of the facts say aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion is approved. The finding of the facts are adopted. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Reisinger.
Mr. President, there's no amendments to this bill. I move the bill favorable.
Second by Councilman Kraft. All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion to approve this bill moves to third reader. Third reader to be held one meeting.
City Council Bill 14-0543, Plant Unit Development, Amendment 1, Whitehall Cotton Mill, for the purpose of approving certain amendments to the development plan of the Whitehall Cotton Mill Plant Unit Development.
Third reader for final passage.
City Council Bill 14-0581, RPP Area 9, exception for 807 Light Street, for the purpose of amending the parking management plan for RPP Area 9 to add an exception to the plan's general permit allotments for dwelling units, correcting related language. President Young, Kraft, Scott, Kern, Henry Specter, Middleton, Mosby, Holton, Welsh, Rice, Costello, Stokes, Branch, Clark.
Please note that Councilman Kraft passed. Anyone else? Okay. This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 14-0585, Tax Credits, Historic Properties, for the purpose of extending the period within which applications may be accepted for an historic improvement tax credit, clarifying the definition of eligible improvements, restating the purpose and goal of this credit, modifying certain criteria for a credit limitation imposed on development projects that exceed a certain amount in construction costs, modifying certain procedures for adopting rules and regulations governing the credit, providing for a special effective date, and generally relating to the property tax credit for improvements, restorations, and rehabilitations to historic properties. President Young, Kraft, Scott, Kern, Henry Specter, Middleton, Mosby, Holton, Walsh, Rice, Costello, Stokes, Branch, Clark.
This bill is approved. Committee announcement. Chair recognizes Councilman Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the Judiciary and Legislative Investigations Committee will hear a number of charter amendments on the morning of Tuesday, March 29th, 2016, here in the council chambers. First one will be 150479, a charter amendment on the composition of the Board of Estimates. This will be heard at 9:30 a.m. March 29th. The second one is 120113. This is a charter amendment on the ordinance of estimates, and this one will be held here in the council chamber at 9:45 a.m. And the third one is 150471, and this is a charter amendment on multi-member city council districts, and this will be heard at 10:15 a.m. Once again, Mr. President, these are all on the morning of Tuesday, March 29th, 2016. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilman Henry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to announce that the Task Force on Improving Baltimore City's Inclusionary Housing Program, as established by Resolution 15-0279R, will hold its first meeting on March 7th at 2 p.m. in the Reeves Conference Room. And the task force will hold a second meeting on March 28th at 2 p.m., also in the Reeves Conference Room. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee announcement. Committee announcement. Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Taxation, Finance, Economic Development Committee has a voting session this Thursday at 10 a.m. here in Chamber. It's on the sale of property, 10 South Frederick Street, Bill 15-0562. Also, this Friday here in Chambers at 10:15 a.m., Bill number 15-0611, Emissions and Amusement Tax, Arena Artistic Performance Exemption. We will be hearing that 10:15 here in Chambers this Thursday. And on the Recreation and Parks Committee, we will be hearing Bill 15-0258R on Wednesday, March 9th, 5 p.m. here in Chambers. It will be a televised hearing for the purpose of calling on representatives from the Police Department, Department of Recreation and Parks, Department of Finance, the Law Department, and the dirt bike riding community and neighborhoods impacted by dirt bike riding to join with the City Council in a series of work sessions to create a viable plan for addressing the inappropriate operation of dirt bikes in Baltimore's neighborhoods by creating a world-class dirt bike park in Baltimore City. Again, that's Wednesday, March 9th, 5 p.m. here in Chambers. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any more committee announcements? Chair recognizes Council Vice President Reisinger.
Mr. President and members of the council, the Land Use and Transportation Committee will hold a hearing on Bill 15-0601 on Wednesday, March the 16th at 1 p.m. in the council chambers. This is a rezoning 609 through 611 South Caroline Street. The committee will also hold a hearing on Bill 15-0602 Wednesday, March the 16th at 1:15 p.m. in the council chambers. This is zoning. It's a conditional use parking, open off-street area 3, located at 1500 Fleet Street and 515 through 531 South Caroline Street. The committee will also hold a hearing on Bill 16-0616 on Wednesday, March the 16th at 1:30 p.m. in the council chambers. This is regards to hookah lounges. The Land Use and Transportation Committee will have regards to the voting session on Bill 120152 transfer in Baltimore, which is scheduled this Friday on February the 26th at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. will be canceled. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any more committee announcements? Chair recognizes Council Vice President Reisinger.
Go ahead. Mr. President, members of the council, the next meeting of the City Council will be held on Monday, February the 29th at 5 p.m. in the council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. There have been no further business. This concludes the 110th meeting of the 71st term of the Baltimore City Council. Good night.